Kitkatscanread. Hello, it's Katie. Welcome back to another video. Today I'm bringing you my wrap up for the month of September. So September was a really busy month for me. I knew it was going to be really busy. My TBR was huge. However, I did stick to the books that I did complete from my TBR, so I'm pretty proud of that. So I'm going to go through with you the books that I read, what I thought about them, and then the rating of them. So the first book that I read and completed in the month of September was Get a Life, Chloe Brown by Talia Hibbert. I finally managed to finish this book. I did start this like a few months ago and I was kind of enjoying it but like not fully feeling it, and this time around Will also was reading this book along with me and we were like listening to the audiobook together when we were going to like Thorpe Park and on the return, and then like reading it I listened to a load of it whilst unpacking in my new place, and then Will read a load and then we eventually finished it. But all in all, this was an interesting book in parts. This is the story of Chloe Brown. She is chronically ill. She runs a job that involves like websites, and so she has a list of things that she wants to do in order to help herself like get a life. So it could be anything like riding a motorbike to anything like traveling the whole world with just like one little bit of hand luggage, and you know, being wild, having a load of fun. And so what she didn't expect was to have the maintenance dude that's for like all of the apartments called Red, and they bump into each other. They really do not like each other at all to start with, and then Red ends up like helping Chloe with this list, and thus it sort of like develops into a friendship and eventually into a somewhat of a romance. So yes, it is geeky at times. There are like Harry Potter references and other sort of like geeky references, which I sort of liked as well, and Chloe is quite a quirky character and Red's just this kind of like broody but funny, cocky male, so I did kind of like that. There was just something missing from this book though, and I can't put my finger on what it was, but you know when you read a good book and it has that wow factor and it just all like comes together, like when you close the book and you're like, wow, this book was absolutely amazing, like so good, but it just didn't do that for me. And like I said, I just can't figure out what was that missing spark. It was still a really good book and it's still got a really good rating from me. I quite enjoyed like the writing of it. Like I say, I just really enjoyed like the geekiness from it. I don't know what it was, and like I said, I can't put my finger on what it could be that could make it better. I don't know, and I don't know whether it's because like I had a really busy month and I was really stressed, so I don't know whether it was that as well. So I will keep hold of this book and reread it at some point, maybe in like a year's time or so, and kind of like see whether I've changed my opinion on the book whatsoever, because I've done it before where I've not been feeling the book and then a year or two later I read it and then I really enjoy it. So it's just one of those things, but I do want to give it another go. But on Corpile I put it all through and it ended up being a 4 out of 5 Kit Kat rating. So a really good book and I do recommend it, but it just had something missing for me, and I believe Will gave it 4.5 out of 5 stars. So yeah, very close in our ratings, and we'll also agree that there was just a little bit of something missing, but I still really enjoyed it, and I do recommend the audiobook of this as well. And last but not least, the second book that I completed during the month of September was No Judgments by Meg Cabot. This is the first book in the series. It's called the Little Bridge Island series. I don't hear anybody talk about this series whatsoever, and Meg Cabot is a pretty big famous author. She's written the Princess Diaries series, the Mediator series, the Airhead trilogy, so many books, even the Missing series, which I believe was a TV show is based on that. So she's pretty well known, and yeah, but I don't hear anybody talk about her adult series. So this is a chick lit series, and yes, this was quite a fun book to read. So this is a story about Brie, short for Sabrina, who basically moves to a little bridge island. She wants to start over. Her mother is like a famous judge, but she doesn't want to be known for that. She kind of like wants to move and just like start fresh pretty much. And then there's the town's of kind of like playboy, and basically a hurricane is going to be hitting Little Bridge Island, and Brie is like, I am not going to move, I'm going to stay here, no matter how much her mum or her ex-boyfriend is like trying to like persuade her to move to like a different place in order to not hit the hurricane. Brie has got a pet cat as well, who means absolutely a lot to her, and so she's like, you know what, I'm going to stay here, I'm going to survive this hurricane, and yeah, just do it like that way. So there are a few other people that do stay, and so the hurricane hits, and then she sees the disastrous results, and then she's like, oh my goodness, like all these animals that people have left behind and just evacuated, like I need to save all of these animals. So she goes out and she starts doing this thing where she like saves people's animals by starting with her neighbours. Like she breaks into some places, she climbs through windows and whatever, you name it, in order to make sure that people's animals are safe and are fed and watered and are perfectly fine and are rested and just like not so anxious and everything, which is so sweet. And so she uses her mum by saying, look, you're famous, so you know, why don't you like do me a favour and like put a sort of message out and see if anybody has any animals that they would like me to save and look after and everything. And so her mother does it, and she sort of starts this little kind of like, in a way, mini business of helping the animals along with the broody playboy. And his name is Drew, and he is definitely kind of comes across as that sort of like playboy kind of guy. So yeah, they team up together, and it's the fact that he reveals himself as quite an animal lover as well, which is like quite cute. So yes, it's a really cute story, and it's a really nice story, and like something gets solved in the end with the ex-boyfriend and a friend of the ex-boyfriend's. There's like a mystery about it that's kind of like touched upon like at the beginning of the book and during the book, and then it's finally like revealed at the end, like all about that. So that was like quite interesting, because at first you're like, what's going on, like something's happened between the ex and a friend of the ex, like what is this event that's happened. So yes, you finally get that all solved. So it was wrapped up really nicely in the end. I did really enjoy it, and after entering it into Core Pile, it came out as a 4.5 out of 5 Kit Kats, which is a really good rating for me. It didn't give me that wow factor, it wasn't that amazing like as like Meg Cabot's other books were, and like I say, I don't know if it's because September was a busy month for me and I was really stressed, whether that had a factor into it as well. But I was really enjoying the book that I was reading, and 4.5 is really good. And I don't know also if it is because of the male attraction in this, where I'm just like, I don't know if I'm really feeling him. So I don't know if it's that as well. So I don't know yet. But yeah, eventually I will give this a reread, but this is the first book in the series, so I would love to continue on with it and to see what happens in the sequel. I think the third book has literally just been released, which is good. So I think I've got hold of ebooks of the second and the third book, so eventually I'll get around to reading them hopefully pretty soon, so that they all stay fresh in my head. But at the same time, I do recommend this book. It is really fun if you love animals and like saving animals and all of that, and banter between like two characters. Yeah, it was really good. I totally recommend it. Other than that, for the month of September, I did start a couple of books. I did start You, Me and Vacation, and I just wasn't really feeling that. Despite Emily Henry, I got about 60 or so pages in there, and I really wasn't feeling that book. And I don't know if it's because it's the third romance book in a row. Maybe I wanted to, like, to switch it up. I'm not really sure. Which is such a shame. I had such high anticipation for that book, because I was like, oh, it's one of my anticipated releases. And then I was just like, I don't know. So yeah, a bit of a mystery with that one. And I did start Malibu Rising by Taylor Jenkins Reid literally the last day of the month. So I have carried it forward onto the month of October, so I will be reading and completing that, and that I'm actually quite enjoying. So I'm hoping October is going to be a lot better. I need to be a bit better with my time management. I think I'm really struggling at the moment with sorting everything out because of moving and everything. There's still things that need sorting, there's still things that need to go back in my car, things that need to come out of my car that have been stored in there to come into the flat or to my nan's or whatever. You know, there's just still so much that needs sorting. I have a big list of things, and I think my brain is focusing on that list. I still need to tidy through things, and I literally just haven't had a lot of time to read, to play video games. I've literally just been watching Netflix whenever having a meal, and then I've just been mentally exhausted as well. I've been sleeping quite a lot lately, and I did have the awful cold that was going around as well, so that can happen like the beginning of the month. So yeah, we are on the 8th of October right now, and I've not completed a book, so I need to sit down. One thing I will say, however, that I've been doing pretty well is my book buying has been really good. Like, ever since moving here, I've not purchased a physical book, like, apart from one, and that was the latest Jacqueline Wilson book. So that book I purchased from Sainsbury's. It was like half price or something stupid like that, and I was like, oh, it's Jacqueline Wilson's latest book, and it's one of my projects to go through her books. So that is the only book that I've purchased. Other than that, I've been pretty good. So my book buying, I don't think I bought anything in September, and this is like one book that I bought last week, so beginning of October. So I've been really good. And the only other books I've been getting are just the ones from Illumicrate and Fairy. So I've been really good. So my goal for that has been really well. I found my little paper of like my goals for the year. One was to read more series. I really wish I could start fresh with my like TBRs, and it's difficult now near the end of the year to start fresh again and be like, right, this year I'm going to be so much better. So I'm going to try my best for the next few months and structure the year 2022 a lot better. That is it for this video. Let me know down below how you did for the month of September and what you're reading for the month of October. Are you participating in any readathons during the month of October? But yeah, that's it from me, guys. All of my social media links are linked down below if you'd like to follow me elsewhere, Twitter, Instagram, Goodreads. My Amazon wishlist is there, as well as my book club that I participate in, and also I've got my video game channels as well down below as well if you'd like to check that out. Hopefully pretty soon I'll be able to start doing video games all over again. That would be really good now that my internet is a lot faster. Yay. So from me, guys, keep smiling, keep reading, and be happy. My name is Katie, and I will see all of you wonderful awesome people in my next video. Bye.